to everyone up in the balcony. There is a mic over on that side. Maybe Chip, if you could grab it and bring it down front and can field some questions up there as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Am I on? Cool. I remember watching you once talking on the internet. I've seen every fucking thing you've ever done. Because I'm crazy too. And you were talking about how the internet was probably going to be what eventually, drove religion down or whatever. And you seem pretty enthused about that. And then maybe a week later, I was watching Randi's podcast and well, not podcast, what the fuck is it? It's like just he gets on there and yaks on YouTube. And he was talking about how, he said something about how the information age maybe was not our friend like we thought it would be because people still believe this psychic bullshit and all this, all this nonsense they find online. I guess my question is do you agree with Randi or do you have a more optimistic opinion?
Well, Randi created me. I saw Randi when I was 18. And if it weren't for Randi, there just simply wouldn't be me, and there wouldn't be Penn and Teller. He's everything to me. I tend to be more optimistic than Randi, and I tend to be more optimistic than anyone. I believe that what we're seeing with religion now, the crazy, cultish, over-the-top stuff, I believe that's death throes. And what destroys the internet and our culture, what really, really fights the Middle East and really, really fights that kind of ignorance and backwards stuff is Elvis and rock and roll. I mean, the Velvet Revolution was called that because of the Velvet Underground. And I think that that rock and roll and freedom and truth will win. And I was talking to Trey Parker of South Park, who's a good friend of mine, and I said, there's no doubt atheism is going to win. And Trey said, I just don't want to have to wait 300 years to watch all those people die. And Trey's right. It should go faster. But I think that the internet is a bigger deal than the Gutenberg press. I used to have to, take my bicycle to the library uphill in the rain and snow to be able to find information. Frank Zappa would say, read in the penal colony before you listen to this part of Lumpy Gravy. And I would go to the library and have to find that and read that. The idea that someone listening to Lou Reed's Street Hassle can type in Delmore Schwartz and pull up the short stories is astonishing. And I think that one of the things that religion does is keep outsiders lonely and keep that community. And now that we have a community that, if you're a Catholic, gay bass fisherman, you can find another 500 together. I just can't see any way that can't be great. And I know that Randi gets very, very discouraged. But Randi's been on the front lines, 30 years longer than me. And maybe I'll be more discouraged now, but later. But right now, I just think, I don't think I can really back this up because there's different polls that say different things. But some polls say that if you call atheism a religion, which is like calling not collecting stamps a hobby, but if you called it a religion, I believe it's the fastest growing religion in American history. And I think that you just cannot have superstition with information for a long time. So I'm very optimistic, even against Randi.
All right. Thanks for answering my question.